Give it a try.
Record.
Recording? All right.
It's vlogging.
So this is a demonstration to show whether or not things are what? You can say it. We're going to test for what?
Electrolytes.
Electrolytes. All right.
Job.
So if something is electrolyte, it will conduct electricity in solution, and if it is not electrolyte, it will not. All right. So we're just going to show you how this thing works. I'm going to plug this in, and the light bulb does not work unless we connect these two wires, and then it shines. So now we're going to test some electrolytes. It's going to stay plugged in. I'm going to get one started here that takes a little while to dissolve, and that's Gatorade. Have you heard that Gatorade has electrolytes in it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it takes a little bit to dissolve, so I'm going to get it started and we'll test it in a little bit. It doesn't dissolve very quickly. And in case you're wondering, this stuff's really old. I got it, I don't know, 15 years ago or
Gotta
so.
agitate it. Stir.
Actually, just use a little bit every year. And so the moisture here,
What?
the moisture makes it, so we'll check that guy in a little bit. So let's start with, where's my water? Here's water, plain old water. Does water conduct electricity?
Yes. Water conducts electricity.
Let's see.
No.
Oh,
No electricity.
water does not conduct electricity. Water is a poor conductor. It does not have opposite charges that can travel. Well, this water came out of the faucet. It does have a few minerals in it. In fact, if you were to look at the wires down here, I don't know if you can see, but there's a few bubbles coming off. Can you see that, some of you up front? That's because there is a little bit of electricity going through it. Why could there be some electricity going through water coming from a faucet? Are there some minerals dissolved in the water in the faucet that's coming out of the ground and from the well and so forth? This is water from the store. Maybe a little more pure. Will it conduct electricity? Let's find out. Oh, kind of boring. No electricity. All right, I'm going to take this faucet water and here's my salt. We're going to check if I'm just going to use the same water. We're going to put a little salt in there. Now, do you think salt will dissolve so that it can conduct electricity? You don't think so?
I don't know. Maybe. Yes, it is. Is that your question?
Let's see.
No.
Yes.
Well, it's not very bright, but
Add more salt.
Add more
I
salt.
could add more salt, couldn't I? Well, I also could agitate it. Of course, I didn't bring something to agitate it with. But now that I've stirred it a little bit, it's had a little more time to dissolve.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh, so salt is a what?
Conductor.
Conductor, so therefore it is a electrolyte. All right, so you guys gonna help me predict some of these? No, Dennis. Would you run back there and fill this full of water for me? Just from the faucet. All right, while he's doing that, rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol. So that is a mixture of water and alcohol. And we talked about alcohol is what?
Two-faced.
Two-faced. It will dissolve in water and it will dissolve in oil. All right. But is it a electrolyte? Will it form ions in water?
Yeah.
And the answer is no. It won't. All right. Well, what about sugar?
No. I don't know.
What do you guys think? Yes or no?
Yes.
Well, does it dissolve in water?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get a nice big lump, shall we? Put it in there.
We like that.
All right. So, would we agree that sugar dissolves?
Yeah.
So, and we also said that alcohol dissolves. So does everything that dissolves
No.
form electrolyte?
No.
No. So we'll see. Sugar?
No.
What do we think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's find out.
Lit.
Ah,
Just
Not
think
lit.
opposite of what I think.
Oh, you're right. No.
it is not an electrolyte. Okay,
Yeah.
Fourth time I've done it wrong.
let's go to vinegar. Vinegar. Okay, acetic acid. Sometimes you get it in ketchup and salad dressing and other foods. Let's put a little more. All right, what do you guys think?
Yes.
No.
Just gonna say yes to everything.
Okay, the salt
I know that.
was a conductor, right? Salt was a conductor.
Yes, that was right.
That means electrolyte. It forms ions. Now, salt is ionic already. So what's the process called? Dissociation. But if something is covalent and then forms ions, that was ionization. So this guy is vinegar. Let's see what happens here.
No.
Barely.
Oh, so we would call that a weak electrolyte. All right. Now this is covalent and it formed ions. So it went through a process of ionization. All right. So here's a weak electrolyte. I mean, I poured it in there and it's not going to get more concentrated. All right, then we have two more over here that these guys are a little serious. This is the whole reason why I am wearing the gloves and everything. Hydrochloric acid. You probably have it in your stomach right now. Strong stuff.
Does it smell?
It does not smell. If it smells, you will burn your nose.
No.
All right. Let's see here. Whoa. So what does that mean? It is a electrolyte. Now, hydrochloric acid is a non-metal with a non-metal, so it is covalent, but yet there were ions, so we went through the process of what? Ionization. All right, now this one is a metal with a non-metal, so it is what? Ionic. Sodium hydroxide, also known as lye. You can buy it sometimes as Drano, although there's several different chemicals that Drano will sell. You also don't want to mess around with that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, so it is a electrolyte. Now since it was already ionic and we got ions, it went through the process of dissociation. All right, so sodium hydroxide, hydrochloric acid, sugar? No. Alcohol? Salt? How about the vinegar? Acid?
A little bit.
A little bit. Distilled water? No. So if water does not conduct electricity, why do they say don't swim and have a wire in the water or a bathtub or the ocean? Hint, hint, ocean. Why would you not want to be in water that has something in it? Ah. So while water is not a conductor or a poor conductor, when we get it out of our faucet or you get some soap in it or dirt in it, could it conduct electricity? Yeah. So we don't want electricity and water together, even though water is not a good conductor. Now what about the Gatorade? What do you think?
I like to expect something that's gonna happen.
Okay, what are the ingredients in Gatorade? Maybe that will tell us. Gatorade is made up, well, did they tell you what it's made out of when they advertise it?
No.
Powerade, Gatorade, what all these energy drinks, not energy, but sports drinks. There's two main ingredients besides food color. Salt and sugar. This is salt and sugar. It sounds like it's healthy, but it isn't really. So what do you predict is going to happen?
Weak. It'll be a weak.
It has sugar and it has salt, but you don't think it's very salty tasting, do you?
Or is it? Oh yeah.
That's a weak
So about no electrolytes.
Really weak. Ultra weak.
Do you see it's there's a little bit of light there? Do you see it?
Yeah.
So does that mean it's a weak electrolyte?
Yeah.
Or does it mean that there's not very much salt in there?
Not very much salt.
So there is some salt in there, but not as much as I put in here. So how is Gatorade going to help you with sports and so forth?
Sugar.
Does the sugar give you energy?
Yeah.
Is it the best way to get your energy?
No.
No. When you're sweating, you are also sweating out what? Salt. And if you're really playing hard, you might be sweating out enough that you actually need it in your body. And so the salt will also replenish some of that. So salt is an electrolyte. It sounds really good for their marketing to say, oh, Gatorade has electrolytes. But this bottle of salt also has electrolytes, right? So just because it says electrolytes, does that make it good?
No.
No, it could be hydrochloric acid. So we have to pay attention to what we're doing. All right, let's pause.